What you're about to experience is not ordinary. A secret about Venus, lost for centuries, is about to resurface. Ancient civilizations knew more about Venus than we ever imagined, and what they discovered about its peak could change everything you thought you knew about love, relationships, and your own potential. This week is not just another week. Venus is at the precipice of a rare alignment, but this is more than an astronomical spectacle. It's a gateway, a portal, and ignoring its call could cost you dearly. The ancients understood that Venus' peak isn't a time to passively observe. It's an invitation to take decisive action, an opportunity to embrace your inner strength and manifest the love, beauty, and harmony you deserve. But dismissing the wisdom they bequeathed could result in disequilibrium, envy, and squandered potential. The time to prepare is now. For millennia, Venus has captivated humanity. Its cycles were meticulously tracked, its movements interpreted as omens, its power both revered and feared. Consider the Mayans, obsessed with predicting Venus's movements, creating intricate calendars to align with its energy. But what did they know that we've forgotten? What secrets are hidden within their glyphs and star charts, waiting to be unlocked? These aren't just astronomical observations. They are keys to personal transformation, offering insights into the very fabric of our relationships and creative potential. The Egyptians, linking Venus to Isis, understood its power of rebirth and magic, and we need to re-examine these connections today. Now consider the approximately 584-day synodic cycle of Venus, a rhythm the ancients recognized and honored, believing it mirrored repeating patterns in human experience, showing up in waves of creativity or upheaval in your personal relationships every 18 months. Understanding this cycle isn't just about astrology, it's about understanding yourself. But Venus is more than just a planet. It's a symbol, a mirror reflecting our deepest desires and fears. Across cultures, Venus embodies different facets of love, beauty, and prosperity, but also hints at conflict and destruction. Think of the Greek Aphrodite, the Roman Venus, and the Babylonian Ishtariyot, representing different aspects of this complex energy. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, but also desire. Venus, bringer of prosperity and pleasure, but also vanity. Ishtar, goddess of love and war, of creation and destruction. This isn't just mythology, it's a spectrum of energy that influences us all, from our most tender connections to our most destructive impulses. What does this mean for you right now? Venus Peak is a time of heightened opportunity, a chance to unlock profound potential in your relationships, creativity, and self-love. But it's also a time of potential risk, where old wounds can resurface and negative patterns can amplify. Ignoring this energy could lead to relationship conflicts, creative blocks, or feelings of unworthiness. The effects of Venus Peak extend beyond individual experiences, influencing collective trends and societal shifts. A wave of self-love could ripple outwards, fostering greater compassion and acceptance. But unchecked jealousy, amplified by Venus, could manifest as global conflict. Which path will you choose? To navigate this powerful energy, you need to understand the principles of authenticity, self-awareness, and compassion. This is where the wisdom of the ancients comes in. Sumerian love spells and rituals could provide insights into attracting and maintaining healthy relationships, offering ancient techniques for fostering self-love and self-worth. So how did these ancient civilizations observe and track Venus? The Mayans, with their intricate calendars, were able to predict Venus's movements with remarkable accuracy. This wasn't just astrology, it was astronomy at its finest, a deep understanding of celestial mechanics that allowed them to align their lives with the rhythms of the cosmos. And what is Venus Peak exactly? It's not just when Venus is at its brightest. It's a specific point in Venus's cycle when its energy is most potent and influential, creating ripples across the spiritual and physical realms. During Venus Peak, the planet's light is at its brightest, symbolizing a period of heightened visibility and clarity in matters of the heart and relationships, illuminating what needs to be healed. To understand this potent energy, we need to explore three interconnected lenses: astrology, mythology, and spirituality. Astrology provides a framework for understanding Venus's cycles, mythology offers symbolic insights into its nature, and spirituality provides the tools for personal transformation. These are the threads we'll be weaving together. Also keep in mind that Venus peak often triggers specific patterns in relationships and creative endeavors. You might notice heightened passion or increased conflict in your relationships, a burst of inspiration, or a frustrating creative block. Understanding these patterns is key to navigating this time successfully. The need for compromise and balance in relationships is often a key theme during specific phases of Venus, presenting a familiar, relatable pattern. But what specifically did ancient civilizations discover about Venus peak that modern science overlooks? Did they possess knowledge of unseen energies or spiritual dimensions influenced by Venus? Did they use this knowledge for personal or collective gain? And what about the shadow side of Venus? Myths speak of Venus inciting jealousy among gods and mortals. Could Venus peak amplify these negative traits if not approached with awareness? The rose, a symbol associated with Venus across cultures, embodies this duality: body, love, and passion, but also thorns, sacrifice, and blood, a reminder that these energies can be a double-edged sword. Finally, what ancient spiritual practices and techniques, meditation, rituals, chanting can we use to harness Venusian energy for manifestation and healing? The ancient Sumerians, with their Venus rituals involving chanting and visualization, believed they could tap into Venusian energy for attraction and prosperity. Is it possible to unlock these ancient technologies for modern transformation? The answers are coming. Prepare to harness the powers of Venus peak. What if the ancients weren't just stargazers, but time travelers, leaving messages encoded in celestial events specifically for you? What if Venus peak is more than a beautiful sight, but a cosmic alarm clock, waking you up to a destiny you've always been meant to fulfill? This is it, the week that everything changes. Are you ready? Let's begin our journey into ancient wisdom, starting with the Mayan civilization, a culture deeply intertwined with the cycles of Venus. For the Maya, Venus wasn't just a planet, it was Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, a god whose appearances heralded periods of both prosperity and upheaval. Their long count calendar, a marvel of astronomical precision, meticulously tracked Venus's synodic cycle, believing it held the key to understanding the ebb and flow of human affairs. Have you ever considered that the challenges you're facing now might be echoes of patterns set in motion millennia ago? The Maya believed that specific phases of Venus influenced social harmony, dictating periods of war, peace, and leadership transitions. Think about this in terms of your own life. Are you experiencing recurring themes in your relationships, perhaps a pattern of attracting partners who mirror unresolved issues? The Mayan cyclical view of time suggests that these aren't random occurrences, but opportunities to break free from repeating patterns. Consider this. The Maya saw Venus's influence on leadership as crucial for stability. How can you apply this to your personal leadership, your ability to guide your own life and relationships towards harmony and fulfillment, especially during this Venus peak? Now let's journey to ancient Egypt, where Venus was associated with the goddesses Isis and Hathor, symbols of feminine power, love, and rebirth. The Egyptians didn't just observe Venus, they integrated its cycles into their spiritual practices, timing important rituals and ceremonies to harness its transformative energy. The morning star aspect of Venus, rising before the sun, held particular significance, representing a new dawn, a chance for personal renewal. What if the challenges you're currently facing are actually opportunities for profound rebirth? The Egyptians understood that even in the darkest of times, the promise of resurrection always exists. Are you ready to shed your old skin, to emerge from the ashes of past hurts stronger and more radiant than ever before? Imagine yourself bathed in the golden light of Isis, feeling her love wash away your insecurities and self-doubt. During this Venus peak, can you invoke this sense of renewal to overcome challenges to your self-esteem? Can you embody the belief that you are worthy of love and happiness, regardless of past experiences? Finally, let's delve into the Sumerian civilization, where Venus was embodied by Inanna, also known as Ishtar, the goddess of love, war, and fertility. Inanna's mythic journey of descent into the underworld and subsequent ascent is a powerful metaphor for the human experience. It highlights the importance of confronting our shadow selves, embracing both light and dark aspects of our nature. This descent wasn't a punishment, it was a necessary step in her journey towards greater wisdom and power. What if the emotional challenges you're currently facing are actually a descent into your own underworld, a necessary confrontation with your deepest fears and insecurities? The Sumerians understood that true power comes from integrating all aspects of ourselves, not from suppressing the parts we deem undesirable. During this Venus peak, can you embrace your shadow self, acknowledging your flaws and imperfections without judgment? Can you find strength in your vulnerability, recognizing that it is through facing our darkness that we truly come into the light? As we synthesize these ancient perspectives, a profound pattern emerges. Venus isn't just a celestial body, it's a cosmic mirror reflecting our own cyclical journeys of love, loss, and transformation. The Maya saw its influence on societal harmony, the Egyptians on personal rebirth, and the Sumerians on embracing our shadow selves. These civilizations, though separated by time and geography, all recognized Venus's power to shape human experience. We will call these echoes through time Venus imprints, whispers from the past, informing the present. As Venus approaches its peak, can you feel these ancient echoes resonating within you, urging you to break free from old patterns and embrace your full potential? Are you ready to decipher the hidden messages encoded in Venus's light, unlocking a destiny that has been waiting for you for millennia? Now, let's decode the ancient Venus symbolism. First, we must consider the pentagram. Its association with Venus stems from the planet's unique cyclical path, which traces a near-perfect pentagon in the sky over 8 years. This geometric marvel wasn't lost on the ancients, who saw in it a symbol of harmony, beauty, and the divine proportion, also known as the golden ratio. But this isn't just about aesthetics, it's about integration. How can you bring this principle of the pentagram into your own life during this Venus peak? Perhaps by seeking balance between your mind, body, and spirit through practices like meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. The Fibonacci sequence, closely related to the golden ratio and reflected in the spiral patterns of nature, shows us that beauty arises from order. Can you find the order in your life, even amid chaos? Next, let's consider the dove, a universal symbol of love, peace, and harmony, often associated with Venus. This gentle bird represents the importance of communication, compromise, and forgiveness in relationship dynamics. But it goes deeper than that. The dove symbolizes inner peace, a state of tranquility that allows us to navigate even the most challenging situations with grace and compassion. Think of the dove's appearance after the flood in the story of Noah, signaling a new beginning and renewed hope. What if this Venus peak is your flood, washing away old hurts and resentments, paving the way for a fresh start in your relationships? Are you ready to extend an olive branch, to forgive those who have wronged you, and to embrace the possibility of reconciliation? Can you find that sense of renewal within yourself? Finally, we must analyze water, a potent symbol closely linked to Venus, representing our emotions, intuition, and the subconscious depths of our being. Water can be a source of life, nurturing and sustaining us, but it can also be destructive, overwhelming us with its force. Venus peak often stirs up deep-seated emotions, bringing hidden feelings to the surface. This isn't something to fear, it's an opportunity for emotional cleansing and healing. But water also reflects and distorts images, reminding us that our perceptions can be clouded by our emotions. Are you seeing your relationships clearly, or are your judgments being distorted by past hurts or insecurities? What can be done to find clarity? During this Venus peak, can you commit to processing your emotions in a healthy way, allowing them to flow through you without clinging to them or letting them control you? Can you use your intuition to guide you towards deeper understanding and connection in your relationships? These symbols, the pentagram, the dove, and water, act as keys, unlocking deeper understanding of Venusian energy. As Venus approaches its peak, you can employ these images in meditations, using them as focal points to connect with the themes of balance, harmony, emotional awareness, and renewal. Perhaps you could create a personal ritual incorporating these symbols, lighting candles, playing soothing music, and setting intentions for positive change in your relationships and creative endeavors. The choice is yours. Now, how can you actively harness Venusian energy? The ancients provide several pathways. Let's begin with adapting a Sumerian Venus ritual involving chanting and visualization. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to relax. Visualize Venus as a radiant, shimmering light, filling the room with its loving energy. As you visualize this light, begin to chant a simple mantra, such as, "I am worthy of love, I attract abundance with ease." Repeat this mantra for several minutes, feeling the vibrations resonating within your body. Imagine this light as a magnet, attracting positive relationships, prosperity, and creative inspiration into your life. You can also use music, as it also harnesses the ability to shift your mindset. We can also adapt an Egyptian Venus meditation, connecting with the goddesses Isis or Hathor. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Close your eyes and imagine yourself being bathed in golden light. Visualize Isis or Hathor standing before you, radiating love and compassion. Feel their energy washing away your insecurities and self-doubt. As you breathe, repeat the affirmation, "I am beautiful, I am loved, I am worthy." Feel yourself embracing your inner beauty, recognizing that you are a divine being, deserving of all the good things in life. Can you feel that inner connection to the divine? And we can follow the Mayans, who offer a visualization practice for gaining insights into relationship patterns. Close your eyes and imagine a spiral staircase representing your relationships. Visualize yourself walking down the staircase, each step representing a past relationship. Notice the recurring themes, the patterns that keep showing up. What lessons can you learn from these past experiences? Now, visualize yourself walking up the staircase, each step representing a present and future relationship. What kind of relationship do you want to create? What qualities do you desire in a partner? As you reach the top of the staircase, visualize yourself standing in a beautiful garden, surrounded by love, joy, and harmony. Believe it and see it coming to fruition. As you experiment with these practices, remember that the key is to connect with the intention behind them, not just going through the motions. You can adapt these rituals and meditations to your own needs and preferences, incorporating personal symbols and beliefs. The power lies within you. Which of these techniques resonates with you most strongly? Perhaps you feel drawn to the chanting of the Sumerians, the divine connection of the Egyptians, or the pattern recognition of the Mayans. Trust your intuition and let it guide you towards the practices that will best serve you during this Venus peak. But we cannot ignore the shadows. What lurks in the shadows of Venus, and how can you overcome this darkness? That's what we'll explore next. But we cannot ignore the shadows, because before we banish darkness, we must acknowledge it. Ancient prophecies speak of this time. The ancients knew that Venus peak wasn't solely about love and light, but also about facing the shadow aspects of ourselves and the world. Are you ready to confront what they found? Consider the Mayan prophecies surrounding Venus, Kukulkan, and societal upheaval. Their prophecies warned of times when the balance of power would shift, leading to conflict and chaos. They saw Venus not just as a bringer of love, but as a catalyst for change, a force that could expose hidden corruption and challenge the status quo. A specific prophecy detailed the rise of deceptive leaders during a particular Venus cycle, leading to social unrest and environmental degradation. Does this sound familiar? The core of this prophecy was about humanity's relationship with nature. How would people treat the earth and each other? The Maya saw Venus as a test, a trial by fire that would reveal our true character. They understood the vital importance of balance and harmony, and they would maintain balance through rituals and offerings to the earth. But those practices were lost, replaced by unsustainable models for advancement and civilization. So now what choice do you have? The Maya believed that even in times of turmoil, individuals had the power to influence the course of events through their actions and intentions. By living in alignment with nature, by practicing compassion and empathy, and by standing up for what is right, you could mitigate the negative effects of Venus and create a more positive future. The implications are clear. Ignoring the warnings, clinging to old patterns, and succumbing to greed and ego could lead to dire consequences. Let's delve into how the ancients meticulously recorded Venus peak events, focusing on the Dresden Codex, a Mayan book containing a detailed Venus table. This table wasn't just a collection of astronomical data. It was a sophisticated tool for predicting social and political events based on Venus's movements. The Mayans tracked Venus's appearances as both the morning star and the evening star, noting the precise dates and durations of these phases. They believed that these transitions corresponded to periods of heightened energy and potential instability, but they didn't have advanced telescopes or modern technology. So how did they do it? Mayan priests were seen as intermediaries between the celestial and the earthly realms. They underwent years of rigorous training, developing heightened senses and intuitive abilities. They would fast, meditate, and perform elaborate rituals to purify their minds and bodies, allowing them to perceive subtle energies and spiritual dimensions. This ability to perceive these energies, they believed, came with a code of conduct, including chastity and silence. Modern science overlooks this aspect, but what if there were a way to test this connection today? Venus peak events were seen to correlate with significant events in Mayan society, such as the inauguration of new rulers, the outbreak of wars, and periods of famine or prosperity. The Mayan would often delay or advance plans for important events based on celestial indications. They would perform specific rituals during Venus peak events, offering sacrifices to appease the gods and ensure favorable outcomes. This isn't just ancient history, it's a reminder that our actions are always interconnected with the cosmos, even if we are not consciously aware of it. Now let's explore a specific Egyptian ritual that can help you harness Venusian energy for self-love and healing. This ritual involves connecting with the goddesses Isis and Hathor, powerful symbols of feminine energy, love, and compassion. It combines chanting, visualization, and the use of sacred objects to invoke their presence and tap into their transformative power. Isis and Hathor were not just deities, they were archetypes representing different aspects of the divine feminine. Isis embodies wisdom, magic, and healing, while Hathor embodies beauty, joy, and abundance. To perform this ritual, you'll need a quiet space, a candle, some fragrant oils, such as rose or jasmine, and an image or statue of Isis or Hathor. Light the candle, anoint yourself with the oils, and sit comfortably before the image. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to relax and center your energy. As you breathe, begin to chant the names of Isis and Hathor, feeling their energy filling the room. You might say, Isis, Mother of Magic, I call upon your wisdom. Hathor, Goddess of Beauty, I invoke your grace. Visualize yourself being bathed in golden light, feeling loved, cherished, and worthy of all good things. But for this method to be effective, you must truly believe in the power of the goddesses and your own capacity for transformation. Doubt and skepticism will block the flow of energy. The ritual should be performed with reverence and respect, as an offering of love and gratitude to the divine. The energy will be channeled into every action you take from that moment forward. Let's contrast this ancient understanding of Venus with the modern, often shallow, view of love, relationships, and beauty. Modern culture has reduced Venus to mere romantic love and physical attraction, overlooking the deeper spiritual and creative dimensions. We see Venus reduced to dating apps and fleeting encounters, but the ancients saw Venus as a multifaceted force influencing creativity, prosperity, and societal harmony. The Mayans viewed Venus as a symbol of power and leadership, emphasizing the responsibility that goes with it. Modern ideas of leadership often focus on personal gain and dominance, whereas the Mayans saw leadership as a service to the community, guided by wisdom and integrity. In contrast to these ideas, social media has induced a shallow understanding of Venus themes, leading to things like social media-induced jealousy. By not understanding the dark side of Venus, people fall prey to their shadow selves, which affects relationships and one's self-image. This superficial understanding of Venus can lead to relationship conflicts, creative blocks, and feelings of unworthiness. Jealousy, envy, and possessiveness can sabotage relationships, while a lack of self-love can prevent individuals from attracting positive partnerships. As the prophecies stated, this imbalance affects much more than interpersonal relationships. If everything is connected, how could only one thing be affected? Now, let's connect this ancient wisdom to the present, urging you to take harmonious action during this current Venus peak. The choices you make now will have long-term consequences for your personal lives and for society as a whole. By practicing mindfulness, setting clear intentions, cultivating self-love, and engaging in creative expression, you can align with Venusian energy and create positive change. Relate these actions to the themes discussed from various civilizations. Practice a daily act of self-care, nourishing your mind, body, and spirit. Create something beautiful, whether it's a painting, a poem, a song, or a simple act of kindness. But it all starts with recognizing the power of relationships. Venus is not just about personal gain, but about contributing to a more harmonious and compassionate world. Positive relationship role models have a ripple effect on other people's relationships, inspiring them to cultivate healthier connections. As you embrace your inner beauty, you inspire others to do the same. By taking responsibility for your actions and intentions, you can amplify the positive impacts of Venus and contribute to a more loving and just world. The time is now, and the power is in your hands. But what if the ancients left even more specific instructions, a step-by-step guide to navigating this Venus peak? But what if the ancients left even more specific instructions, a step-by-step guide to navigating this celestial event? The Mayans, Egyptians, and Sumerians, among others, meticulously tracked Venus, marking specific dates and periods as significant turning points. These dates weren't arbitrary, they were tied to specific prophecies and potential outcomes. The Mayan Venus calendar, for instance, pinpointed cycles of approximately 584 days, dividing this period into phases associated with both positive and negative influences. Specific dates within these cycles were seen as particularly potent, requiring heightened awareness and specific actions. In Egypt, priests timed elaborate rituals to coincide with Venus's heliacal rising, believing that this moment held immense power for invoking blessings and averting disaster. The specific day of the rising was meticulously calculated each year, becoming a focal point for societal renewal and spiritual purification. Now consider that each of these cultures made predictions based on these dates, offering warnings of potential challenges, societal unrest, and even environmental changes. These weren't presented as inevitable fates, but as possibilities contingent on human choices. The Mayan prophecies, for example, warned of heightened relationship conflicts every 8 years, coinciding with a particular phase of Venus's cycle. This wasn't simply a prediction, it was a call to be more mindful of relationship dynamics and to proactively address potential issues. Similarly, Egyptian texts cautioned against societal unrest and political instability during certain Venusian alignments, urging rulers to govern with wisdom and justice. This brings up an important question for today. Are these warnings still relevant? Consider the relationship breakdowns, political polarization, and environmental crises that plague our modern world. Are these simply isolated incidents, or are they echoes of ancient patterns amplified by the potent energy of Venus? The Mayan prophecies of societal discord resonate eerily with current political divisions, suggesting that the underlying energetic forces may be cyclical and recurrent. By recognizing these repeating themes, we can begin to understand the deeper forces at play and make more informed choices. To do this, we must understand the ancient concept of Venusian alignment. Instead of succumbing to negative influences, ancient cultures sought to harmonize with Venus's energy. They believed that by aligning themselves with Venusian principles, they could mitigate negative effects and harness its positive potential. This alignment involved consciously connecting with Venus's energy to unlock its transformative power. In ancient cultures, offerings and rituals were performed to appease the gods associated with Venus, aiming to ensure harmony and balance. But how did they achieve this alignment? What were the mechanics behind it? Ancient practices offer valuable insights. Meditation, visualization, chanting, and intention setting were all employed to connect with Venus's energy. To attract love, prosperity, and abundance, a Sumerian Venus ritual involved chanting specific mantras and visualizing oneself bathed in golden light. Adaptations of this ritual can be used today, focusing on the power of sound and visualization to create positive change. Remember that consistency is key to unlocking its transformative potential. Historical examples also reveal the specific benefits of Venusian alignment. Enhanced creativity, deeper relationships, increased self-worth, and a stronger connection to the divine are all potential outcomes. Historical figures and movements that have resonated with Venusian principles, love, beauty, and harmony have often created positive change in the world. The ancient prophecies aren't set in stone. They represent potential timelines that can be influenced by your choices and actions. Imagine a river with multiple channels, with each channel representing a different potential outcome. Your choices act as rudders, directing you towards one channel or another. By becoming conscious of these choices, you can alter the course of your life and create a more positive future. Here's how to proactively shape your experience during this period. Practice mindfulness, self-reflection, and intention setting. Set healthy boundaries, perform acts of kindness, and approach each day with intention. By utilizing these tools, you can positively shape your experiences. Consider a self-reflection exercise. Identify and release limiting beliefs about love and worthiness. Ask yourself, what stories am I telling myself about relationships? What fears am I holding on to? What limiting beliefs are preventing me from experiencing true love and joy? Challenge these beliefs and replace them with positive affirmations. This is how you rewrite the script of your life. As you navigate this time, ground yourself in authenticity, self-awareness, and compassion. Remember, these qualities are essential for synchronizing with Venus's highest potential. Identify one area in your life where you aren't being authentic. Perhaps you're suppressing your creativity, compromising your values in a relationship, or hiding your true self from the world. Commit to taking small steps towards greater self-expression in this area, whether it's starting a new creative project, having an honest conversation with a loved one, or simply allowing yourself to be more vulnerable. The shadow side of Venus jealousy, possessiveness, vanity can manifest strongly in relationships, especially when individuals are disconnected from their true selves. The ancients faced these challenges. How did they manage them? Managing negative emotions requires proactive action and personal responsibility. By revisiting these negative emotions, you can learn to detach from them and respond with greater awareness. In your relationships, set healthy boundaries and communicate your needs effectively. As challenging as it may be, prioritizing your well-being and fostering mutual respect and understanding is necessary. Practice observing thoughts and feelings without judgment. When jealousy or possessiveness arises, acknowledge the emotion without getting carried away by it. Recognize that these emotions are often rooted in fear and insecurity, and that they don't define you. Breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are worthy of love and respect. This is what the ancients tried to teach us. Self-love is the ultimate antidote to the shadow side of Venus. Focus on cultivating self-compassion and embracing your unique qualities regardless of external validation. Learn to love who you are without comparing yourself to others. Counter negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Each morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am worthy of love, I am beautiful, I am capable of creating a joyful and fulfilling life. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more you will believe them. What awaits beyond the shadows? This week is not like any other, and it's about to get even more intense. Venus peak is almost upon us. What you need to understand is that this isn't just a beautiful alignment of celestial bodies, but a cosmic amplifier, intensifying existing energies and patterns in your life. Think of it as a cosmic spotlight shining on everything, both the light and the shadows, within you and around you. Ancient cultures saw these events as critical periods, with the potential for both immense prosperity and devastating calamity. If you're already feeling joyful and creative, Venus peak can amplify that, opening doors to new opportunities and deeper connections. However, if you're grappling with jealousy, insecurity, or negative thought patterns, those feelings can also be magnified, leading to potential conflicts and setbacks. The ancients understood this duality, and they left behind a roadmap for navigating it. Consider someone who is already prone to jealousy. The amplified energy of Venus peak could trigger intense feelings of insecurity, leading to accusations, arguments, and ultimately, damage to their relationship. Conversely, someone focused on self-love and appreciation will likely experience a surge of confidence and attract positive attention, strengthening their bonds with loved ones and fostering new connections. Were you aware that certain periods of time were considered more or less favorable when dealing with Venus? This wasn't some arbitrary system either. These cultures, across the globe, sought out specific energies during Venus peak, energies like harmony, creativity, and love, aligning themselves with deities and forces that embodied these qualities. At the same time, they were hyper-aware of the energies they needed to avoid, such as greed, envy, and discord, knowing that these could lead to imbalance and suffering. In order to create a sense of balance, these cultures would follow specific guidelines to ensure a positive outcome. Highlighting the amplified aspects of Venus peak was believed to extend to all aspects of life, from your most intimate relationships to your overall health and even the environment around you. So how can you relate to this and apply it to your life? Imagine someone stuck in a negative state, constantly complaining, gossiping, and attracting drama. During Venus peak, this negativity could intensify, leading to further isolation, health problems, and even financial difficulties. Now, imagine someone who chooses to reframe their perspective, focusing on gratitude, compassion, and positive action. That same Venus peak could become a catalyst for profound transformation, attracting supportive relationships, improved well-being, and unexpected opportunities. The choice, as always, is yours. But what specific methods did these early cultures use to prepare for Venus peak, beyond the well-known rituals and sacrifices? The Mayans, for example, engaged in extensive societal restructuring, periods of communal fasting, and intense introspection to purify themselves before Venus peak. This wasn't just about individual cleansing, it was about creating a harmonious society that could withstand the amplified energies. They would reevaluate their social structures, redistribute resources, and resolve conflicts to ensure a sense of unity and balance. They understood that societal harmony was essential for navigating this potent time. Economic adjustments were also common, with societies taking steps to avoid hoarding and focus on mutual support. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, would strategically store extra grain and other resources during Venus peak, mitigating the potential impact of droughts or crop failures. This wasn't just about practical preparation, it was about fostering a mindset of abundance and sharing, recognizing that collective well-being was essential for weathering any storm. They believed that greed and self-interest would only amplify the negative energies of Venus, leading to scarcity and conflict. By sharing resources and supporting each other, they could create a more resilient and harmonious community. But more than that, there were specific personal practices. These people were in tune with their spiritual selves and would practice things such as meditation, visualization, and self-reflection. Individuals used these methods to align with Venusian energy and navigate its challenges, making the most of what the celestial event had to offer. Consider the Sumerian practice of chanting specific mantras to invoke the energy of Inanna/Ishtar, the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. This wasn't just a religious ritual, it was a powerful technique for personal empowerment and protection. By chanting these mantras and visualizing themselves filled with divine light, individuals could tap into the Venusian energy and manifest their desires. You may not be Sumerian, but the act of chanting in and of itself has been shown to have extremely positive effects. The early peoples understood that they were more connected than most modern people realize. Which is why they were so in tune with what we will call the Venus resonance field, a subtle energy field created by the collective thoughts, emotions, and intentions of people during Venus peak. The Venus resonance field operates similarly to a collective consciousness, where the thoughts and feelings of individuals can ripple out and influence the overall energy of the field. If you are able to harness this, patterns will begin to emerge in your life. These patterns will reflect the energies that you put into the field, so choose wisely. Ancient cultures understood and interacted with this resonance field, using rituals, ceremonies, and communal practices to shape its energy. Music, dance, and storytelling were frequently employed to create a shared emotional experience during Venus peak, amplifying positive emotions and intentions. Think about the power of a group of people singing together, their voices blending to create a harmonious vibration. Now, imagine that vibration amplified by the energy of Venus, creating a powerful force for healing and transformation. That's the power of the resonance field. What does this resonance field mean for you? It has implications for both personal and collective transformation, so it is essential to understand the importance of individual responsibility and conscious intention. Positive thoughts and emotions can contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate resonance field, while negative thoughts and emotions can amplify conflict and discord. Imagine a world where everyone consciously chooses to focus on love, kindness, and gratitude. The resulting resonance field would be a powerful force for positive change, creating a ripple effect that transforms individuals, communities, and ultimately the entire planet. So how do we tap into this power? Here's the good part and why you're here. Let's put this all together and create a step-by-step blueprint for your personal transformation during Venus peak. Draw upon the timeless wisdom and practices we've explored so far. These steps can be used repeatedly for any similar situations. First, reflect. Take a long, hard look at your current relationships, your creative endeavors, and your sense of self-worth. Ask yourself, are these areas aligned with your values and desires? Are you truly happy and fulfilled? If not, what needs to change? Next, set your intentions. This step is directly linked to positive outcomes. What do you want to create in your relationships, your creative pursuits, and your overall life? Be specific, be bold, and don't be afraid to dream big. Write down your intentions and visualize them as already fulfilled. Feel the emotions associated with achieving your goals and let that feeling fuel your actions. Intentions are powerful forces that can shape your reality. Now that we've discussed the ancient meditation and visualization techniques, let's see how we can adapt them for the modern world, providing you with the practical tools and techniques you can use to align with Venusian energy and manifest your desires. Create a personal Venus ritual. Gather candles, crystals, and other objects that resonate with the energy of love, beauty, and abundance. Light the candles, hold the crystals, and repeat positive affirmations that align with your intentions. Visualize yourself surrounded by golden light, feeling loved, supported, and empowered. Finally, embrace authenticity, self-awareness, and compassion as guiding principles for your transformation journey, emphasizing that these qualities are essential for unlocking your full potential. Cultivate self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding as you would offer to a friend. When you make mistakes, forgive yourself and learn from the experience. Explore ancient texts for reference, finding solace and guidance in the wisdom of the ages. You have everything you need within you to navigate this Venus peak and emerge stronger, more authentic, and more aligned with your true purpose. The question is, are you ready to take the first step? And what secrets still lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered as Venus reaches its zenith? But are you ready to face what they found? This week is not normal. Venus is approaching its peak, but this isn't just a beautiful celestial event. Ancient civilizations knew this time held a potent energy, a power they both revered and feared. What they discovered, hidden in their temples and star charts, changes everything about how you should approach the next few days. The ancients understood that Venus peak isn't a time to passively observe. It's a call to action, a challenge to step into your power and create the love, beauty, and harmony you desire. But ignoring the messages they left behind could lead to imbalance, jealousy, and missed opportunities. The upcoming days are extremely important and can affect you for years to come. Let's delve into the dual nature of Venus peak, exploring ancient accounts of creation and destruction. The cosmic amplifier concept we touched on earlier wasn't just theoretical for them. They attributed specific historical events directly to Venus's positioning. Consider ancient Egypt, for instance. During certain Venus cycles, the civilization flourished. The Nile River overflowed predictably, leading to agricultural abundance and artistic innovation. Pharaohs like Akhenaten, who embraced a more Venus-aligned monotheistic religion, oversaw periods of unprecedented peace and prosperity. But other Venus alignments coincided with societal unrest, warfare, and the decline of dynasties. The reign of Ramesses II, though powerful, was marked by constant military campaigns, possibly reflecting the more martial aspect of Venus. These events weren't seen as random. They were understood as direct consequences of Venus's energetic influence, each fluctuation of the energy impacting humanity. And it wasn't just the Egyptians. Ancient myths and legends worldwide depict Venus as a dualistic force. Think of Ishtar, the Babylonian goddess. She was both the goddess of love, procreation, and fertility, and the goddess of war, destruction, and justice. Her mythology is filled with examples of this duality. Her descent into the underworld, for example, can be seen as a metaphor for the destructive potential of Venus peak, a time when old patterns and relationships may need to be killed off to make way for new growth. Conversely, her resurrection symbolizes the creative power of Venus, the ability to transform even the darkest experiences into something beautiful and meaningful. This means that Venus is neither good nor bad, but more a reflection of the people interacting with it. It serves as a mirror of one's self and the collective. Ancient civilizations also spoke of Venusian storms, periods of heightened energetic turbulence associated with Venus peak. The Mayan prophecies are filled with warnings of societal discord, environmental challenges, and personal crises during these times. These storms weren't just metaphorical. They were believed to be real periods of heightened emotional intensity, when old wounds could resurface, relationships could be tested, and societal structures could be shaken to their core. The unprepared will find these times extremely difficult. Were the ancients simply afraid, or were they warning us of dangers to come? Now, how did these ancient cultures leave us the keys to understanding these forces? Let's decipher the Venus Code, unlocking hidden patterns in ancient architecture. It wasn't enough for them to simply record astronomical data. They encoded their knowledge of Venus cycles and their potential impacts into their architecture and sacred sites, preserving their knowledge for those who knew how to read it. The sites served as message boards to those who could read them, serving as a warning of things to come. Consider the pyramids of Giza. Their orientation aligns with Venus's rising and setting points during specific times of the year, creating a celestial map etched in stone. The angles of the shafts within the Great Pyramid, for example, are believed to point towards specific stars and constellations, including Venus, at key moments in its cycle. This alignment wasn't accidental. It was a deliberate attempt to harness the energy of Venus and integrate it into the very foundation of their civilization. The layout of the pyramids, with its intricate chambers and passageways, may also represent different stages of spiritual initiation, mirroring the challenges and opportunities associated with Venus Peak. And there are countless other examples throughout the world. These ancient sites are filled with symbols that represent different aspects of Venusian energy. At Mayan temples dedicated to Venus, you'll find carvings of feathered serpents, representing the union of earthly and celestial energies, as well as depictions of jaguars, symbolizing courage, strength, and the ability to navigate the darkness. The pentagram, a five-pointed star, was also a common Venus symbol, representing harmony, balance, and the interconnectedness of all things. By understanding these symbols, we can gain a deeper understanding of the forces at play during Venus Peak. It also allows us to understand the various ways in which Venus can interact with us on a personal level. So how can you, yourself, decode these messages that the ancients left for us? Start with a basic understanding of ancient symbolism, sacred geometry, and astronomical alignments. Learn to recognize common Venus symbols like the pentagram, the dove, and the Vesica Piscis, and understand their connection to different aspects of Venusian energy. Study the principles of sacred geometry, such as the golden ratio and the Fibonacci sequence, and see how they are reflected in ancient architecture and art. And familiarize yourself with the basics of astronomy, learning how to identify Venus in the night sky and track its movements. Knowing how to do this helps you to find where you fit into the universe. For example, the pentagram, often associated with Venus, represents the five elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and their harmonious balance. When you see this symbol, it can serve as a reminder to strive for balance in your own life, integrating all aspects of yourself into a unified whole. The dove, another common Venus symbol, represents peace, love, and harmony. Seeing a dove can be a sign to focus on cultivating these qualities in your relationships and in your interactions with the world. Once you start looking, you will begin to see these symbols everywhere. And what about dealing with emotions? It's time to discover how to harness the Venus current using ancient techniques for emotional regulation. The ancients recognized the power of emotions and developed a range of techniques for managing them, particularly during times of heightened Venusian energy. These techniques, including meditation, chanting, breathwork, visualization, and art therapy, can help you navigate emotional storms and maintain inner balance. It may sound simple, but simple is often the most effective way to deal with something difficult. The Sumerian practice of chanting specific mantras to invoke the energy of Inanna/Ishtar, for example, wasn't just a religious ritual. It was a powerful technique for personal empowerment and protection. By repeating these mantras and visualizing themselves filled with divine light, individuals could tap into the Venusian energy and overcome feelings of fear, anxiety, and insecurity. This also served as a form of self-hypnosis, reprogramming their subconscious minds with positive beliefs and intentions. By changing the inner monologue, the Sumerians were able to change their outlook. And how can we use those chants today? Adapt these ancient techniques for modern practice. Start by finding a quiet space where you can relax and focus. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to settle into the present moment. Then, choose a mantra that resonates with you, such as "I am worthy of love," "I am beautiful," or "I am strong." Repeat this mantra silently or aloud, focusing on the feeling behind the words. Visualize yourself surrounded by golden light, feeling loved, supported, and empowered. Do this for at least 10 minutes each day, and you'll begin to notice a shift in your emotional state. It requires consistency, and you must believe in the power of what you're doing. Ultimately, the key to successful emotional regulation is self-awareness, self-compassion, and a willingness to embrace the full spectrum of human emotions. Don't try to suppress or deny your feelings. Instead, acknowledge them, accept them, and allow yourself to feel them fully. Remember that all emotions, even the difficult ones, are valuable sources of information and growth. By embracing your emotions, you can learn from them and use them to create a more fulfilling life. You must fully embrace these times and not suppress any emotions. Keep a journal during Venus peak to track your emotions, identify triggers, and develop strategies for managing your emotional responses. When you feel overwhelmed, take a break and engage in activities that help you relax and distress, such as spending time in nature, listening to music, or practicing yoga. And remember to be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Identifying the triggers is one of the most important things you can do. Being able to sidestep them can change your life forever. Now, let's look at how our inner states can show up in other people. What do you know about the Venus mirror and how it reflects collective consciousness in personal relationships? The people in our lives often reflect back to us our own unresolved issues, beliefs, and patterns, especially during times of heightened Venusian energy. This concept of mirrored relationships can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and spiritual growth if you know how to use it. If you consistently attract people who are jealous, controlling, or emotionally unavailable, it may be a sign that you have unresolved issues with worthiness, trust, or vulnerability. Your partner's jealousy may mirror your own feelings of unworthiness, or a friend's negativity may reflect your own hidden resentments. This reflection isn't always obvious, but with careful observation, you can begin to see the patterns. If our friends are negative, it could be a direct reflection of our inner self. It's time to examine why you allow those friendships to continue. Ancient civilizations understood and used relationship dynamics as a tool for self-discovery and spiritual growth. The ancient Egyptians viewed marriage as a sacred union that could facilitate personal and spiritual evolution, encouraging partners to support each other's growth and development. They believed that by working through their issues together, couples could unlock their full potential and create a more harmonious life. The partners should support each other and help each other through the storms. But how do you get there in the first place? During Venus peak, you may find that your relationships are tested more than ever before. Old wounds may resurface, communication may break down, and conflicts may escalate. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an opportunity to address unresolved issues and create a stronger, more authentic connection. Remember, these are just reflections. How can you actually navigate this, though? There are practical tools and techniques for navigating mirrored relationships during Venus peak. Practice active listening, giving your full attention to the other person without interrupting or judging. Use I statements to express your needs and feelings without blaming or accusing, fostering more open and honest communication. Set healthy boundaries, defining what you're willing to accept and what you're not, and practice forgiveness, releasing resentment and anger and moving forward with compassion. This is the moment to grow and help others to do the same. I statements allow you to express your needs and feelings without putting the other person on the defensive. For example, instead of saying, "You always make me feel insecure," you could say, "I feel insecure when you don't respond to my texts right away." The key is to be non-accusatory in your communication style, which will help to de-escalate the conflict. The journey doesn't end here. It's time to embrace the Venus promise, reclaiming your authentic power. Venus peak can serve as a catalyst for profound personal transformation, enabling you to break free from limiting patterns, reclaim your authentic power, and create a life aligned with your highest potential. And here is where it becomes time to transform and grow. As we've explored, both love and destruction can come from Venus, but the key element in all of this is choice. What teachings can you take away from all of this? The ancient civilizations we've discussed, the Mayans, Egyptians, and Sumerians, all shared a deep understanding of cyclical time, the dualistic nature of Venus, the importance of emotional regulation, and the power of collective consciousness. They understood that Venus peak was a time of heightened potential, a time when anything was possible. All of these practices can serve as a guiding light during Venus peak. Now, it's up to you to embrace the Venus promise. Integrate ancient wisdom into your daily life, cultivate authenticity, self-awareness, and compassion, and take inspired action to create a more harmonious and fulfilling world. This requires conscious effort and inspired action. What will you do now that you know this? What is the true destiny that you are looking to achieve? Let's end with a powerful affirmation that you can use to tap into the transformative power of Venus peak and create a life aligned with your highest potential. I embrace the energy of Venus, releasing all that no longer serves me and opening myself to love, beauty, and abundance. I am worthy of love, I am beautiful, and I am strong. I am the creator of my own reality, and I choose to create a life filled with joy, harmony, and fulfillment. This is your moment. Now, are you ready to handle who or what might be watching you? And what is the secret of the Venus line? What if the rise and fall of civilizations, the tumultuous shifts in human history, are not random occurrences, but echoes of a celestial rhythm? What if Venus, in its celestial dance, leaves a timeline, a map of cataclysms and transformations for those who know how to read it? Consider this, the Venus timeline, a concept suggesting that specific Venus peak events throughout history correlate with periods of significant upheaval and change. Envision this timeline, stretching back millennia, marked by both glorious ascensions and devastating collapses, each aligned with Venus's celestial signature. Take, for example, the Late Bronze Age collapse around 1200 BCE. This wasn't a single event, but a cascade of disasters that brought down mighty empires like the Mycenaean Greeks, the Hittites, and the Egyptian New Kingdom. While multiple factors contributed, including climate change and migrations, a prominent Venus peak coincided with this period of widespread destruction. Imagine the drought that gripped the region, leading to famine and social unrest. Picture the sea peoples, driven by desperation, raiding coastal cities and disrupting trade routes. The ancient records paint a picture of chaos and upheaval, a world turned upside down. The common thread: widespread societal breakdown fueled by resource scarcity and political instability, all mirroring the disruptive energy of Venus peak. The decisions of leaders led to the eventual collapse of a specific dynasty in the Egyptian Empire. This decline rippled out and affected the rest of the area. Now, fast forward to our modern challenges. Are we witnessing a similar pattern unfolding today? Consider the current state of global affairs. Political polarization is reaching unprecedented levels, social unrest is simmering beneath the surface, and environmental disasters are becoming increasingly frequent. And as these things escalate, Venus is coming into alignment. Does this mean we are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past? Not necessarily. By understanding the Venus timeline, by recognizing the patterns of cataclysm and transformation, we can make conscious choices to create a different future. Are you ready to change your future? What if there was a way to access the wisdom of the ancients, to tap into a vast reservoir of knowledge about the past, present, and future? What if Venus peak could provide us with the key? Enter the Akashic Records, a cosmic library containing the entire history of the universe, every thought, feeling, and event that has ever occurred. It's a vast data store, used to record everything that has ever happened. Ancient mystics and seers believed they could access these records during times of heightened celestial energy, like Venus peak, to gain insights into the nature of reality and humanity's destiny. Imagine ancient shamans entering altered states of consciousness, journeying through the realms of spirit, and consulting the Akashic Records for guidance. But what specific types of information can be accessed in the Akashic Records related to Venus? Think of ancient prophecies, hidden knowledge, and the collective experiences of humanity throughout history, all encoded within the Akashic Records, waiting to be unlocked. Imagine uncovering a specific prophecy about a period of intense transformation, a prophecy that speaks directly to the challenges and opportunities we face today. This information is often obscured or encoded, requiring a certain level of spiritual development to decipher. What actions must we take in order to prepare? So how do you access the Akashic records during Venus peak? By using meditation, visualization, and intention setting to connect with this vast source of knowledge. First, find a quiet space where you can relax and focus. Dim the lights, light a candle, and play some calming music. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing yourself to settle into the present moment. Now, visualize yourself standing before a massive library, its shelves filled with countless books. This is the Akashic Records. With a clear intention in mind, ask to be shown the information you need to understand Venus peak and its impact on your life. Be open to receiving insights in the form of images, thoughts, feelings, or even direct guidance from spirit guides. Imagine the insights that the ancient leaders could have gained. What if the conflicts and divisions we see in the world, the prejudices and discriminations, are not simply the result of individual malice, but the manifestation of collective fears and insecurities? What if Venus peak acts as a magnifying glass, amplifying these shadow projections and leading to relationship conflicts, social unrest, and even warfare? These projections often stem from a place of ignorance, a lack of understanding and empathy for those who are different from us. Consider a society's fear of outsiders, manifesting as prejudice and discrimination against immigrants or refugees. This fear may be rooted in a belief that these newcomers will take away jobs, strain resources, or threaten the existing social order. But this fear is often unfounded, based on stereotypes and misinformation rather than actual experience. During Venus peak, these fears can become amplified, leading to increased hostility and violence. Envision angry mobs clashing in the streets, fueled by hatred and fear. Picture families being torn apart, forced to flee their homes in search of safety. A society in turmoil because of its own shadow projections. Remember those wars we talked about? The effects and overall state of mind for the warring sides are all examples of shadow projections. The individuals often become consumed by fear, hatred, and a desire for revenge, losing sight of their own humanity. It becomes a cycle of violence that can be difficult to break. What if, instead of projecting our fears onto others, we could recognize them within ourselves? What if we could use self-awareness, compassion, and clear communication to confront these shadow projections and create a more harmonious world? If you recognize the projections, they can be overcome. Start by practicing mindfulness, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. When you notice yourself feeling angry, resentful, or fearful towards someone, ask yourself, what is this person reflecting back to me? What unresolved issues am I projecting onto them? By taking responsibility for your own emotions, you can begin to break free from the cycle of projection and create more authentic connections with others. Acknowledge your feelings, accept them, and allow yourself to feel them fully without judgment. What if your closest relationships are not always what they seem? What if, beneath the surface of love and commitment, lies a complex web of deceptions, manipulations, and hidden agendas? What if Venus peak could expose this Venus labyrinth, forcing you to confront the truth about yourself and your relationships? The Venus labyrinth may involve partners who are not being honest about their feelings, intentions, or past experiences, leading to confusion, betrayal, and heartbreak. Imagine discovering that your partner has been leading a double life, hiding a secret relationship, or engaging in addictive behaviors. Picture the shock, the pain, the sense of betrayal. Or perhaps the deception is more subtle, involving constant gaslighting, emotional manipulation, or a refusal to take responsibility for their actions. This fear of abandonment can cause a person to act out. These deceptions occur because of fear, insecurity, or a desire for power and control. Venus peak is a time of heightened vulnerability, and people's desires are intensified. Someone may use manipulation and deception to maintain control in relationships, especially during times of heightened uncertainty or change. What if you could navigate the Venus labyrinth with grace and discernment, using your intuition to see through the lies and reclaim your personal power? You must be able to identify the lies and know where you stand. Develop your intuition by paying attention to your gut feelings and subtle cues that may indicate deception. If something feels off, trust your instincts and investigate further. Set clear boundaries, defining what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect, honesty, and love. There are realistic things that may be going on behind the scenes. Someone may be having an affair, stealing money from you, or otherwise deceiving you. Prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. The time has come to embrace the full power of Venus. Now what if you could break free from these limiting patterns, reclaim your authentic power, and create a life aligned with your highest potential? This is the promise of Venus activation, a process of reclaiming self-love and creative expression during Venus peak. Envision yourself stepping into your full potential, radiating confidence, joy, and love. Picture yourself creating meaningful work, attracting fulfilling relationships, and living a life that truly inspires you. With this activation, you will unlock the positive aspects of Venus. Remember the key teachings and practices we've discussed throughout this video, the recurring themes of cyclical time, the dualistic nature of Venus, the importance of emotional regulation, and the power of collective consciousness. Take a moment to reflect on these themes and consider how you can integrate them into your daily life. If you keep a journal, write your thoughts out. And finally, embrace the Venus activation by taking a leap of faith, trusting your intuition, and committing to your personal transformation journey. Step forward, knowing that you are supported by the energy of Venus, by the wisdom of the ancients, and by the power of your own inner light. Tap into the transformative power of Venus peak and create a life aligned with your destiny. Your best self is calling to you. It is time to answer. But what happens if you aren't ready to commit? But what if ancient civilizations developed sophisticated crisis management protocols specifically designed to navigate the tumultuous energies of Venus peak? These weren't just random rituals or superstitious practices. They were comprehensive strategies designed to maintain social order, environmental harmony, and individual well-being in the face of celestial upheaval. Were they successful, and can we learn from them? Consider the Mayans, who meticulously tracked Venus's cycles for centuries. They understood that Venus peak could bring periods of drought, floods, and social unrest. To mitigate these effects, they implemented carefully orchestrated societal adjustments. During these times, resources were redistributed to ensure everyone had access to food and water. Public works projects were initiated to provide employment and boost morale. And perhaps most importantly, the Mayan leaders would actively engage with the populace, offering reassurance, guidance, and spiritual support. They understood this was more than just preventing a coup or riot. It was about ensuring the survival of their civilization. But why did they go to these lengths? What did the Mayans know about Venus that we've forgotten? They believed that Venus was a powerful deity, a force that could both create and destroy. During Venus peak, this force was amplified, creating ripples across the physical and spiritual planes. By implementing these crisis management protocols, the Mayans believed they could appease Venus, restore balance, and ensure the continued prosperity of their civilization. This included adjusting agricultural practices to coincide with Venus's cycles. What if we applied these ancient strategies to our modern world, especially during these times of unprecedented change and uncertainty? What if, instead of waiting for disaster to strike, we took a proactive approach, building resilience, fostering community, and preparing ourselves for whatever Venus peak may bring? Start by building up your supply of essential resources, such as food, water, and medicine. Improve your communication skills and your knowledge of self-sufficiency practices. These are more than just practical measures, they're acts of empowerment, demonstrating that you are not helpless in the face of cosmic events. The power to act and survive is and always has been yours. Are you ready to claim it? What if there was a way to unlock the hidden wisdom of Venus, to access a vast storehouse of knowledge and insights that could guide you through these challenging times? The ancient Greeks and Romans developed a mental technique known as the Mind Palace, a method for storing and retrieving vast amounts of information by associating it with specific locations within an imaginary space. But what if we could adapt this technique to create a Venusian Mind Palace, a mental sanctuary dedicated to all things Venus? Have those who used this technique unlocked hidden wisdom? Imagine creating a virtual temple in your mind, filled with symbols, images, and memories related to love, beauty, creativity, and relationships. Visualize a grand hall, adorned with statues of Venus and other deities associated with love and beauty. In this hall, you store information about healthy relationship dynamics, communication skills, and conflict resolution strategies. Picture a lush garden filled with fragrant flowers and flowing fountains. Here, you cultivate your creativity, exploring different art forms, practicing mindfulness, and connecting with your inner muse. During Venus Peak, you can enter your Venusian Mind Palace and access this wealth of knowledge and insight, gaining guidance and inspiration to navigate any challenge that comes your way. Start by choosing a specific location that resonates with you, perhaps a childhood home, a favorite vacation spot, or a place you've only dreamed of visiting. Then begin to populate this space with symbols, images, and memories associated with Venusian energy. Each room, each object, each detail should hold a specific meaning, representing a particular aspect of love, beauty, creativity, or relationships. The more vivid and detailed your mind palace, the more effective it will be as a tool for accessing ancient wisdom and navigating challenging situations during Venus Peak. During this peak, you will be able to access the tools you need to navigate challenges. But what if the key to unlocking the full power of Venus lies not just in individual practice, but in collective action? What if we could harness the energy of Venusian resonance to create a ripple effect of healing and transformation, not only within ourselves, but also within our communities and the world at large? Ancient civilizations understood the power of collective intention, the ability of groups to amplify their energy and manifest positive outcomes through shared ritual, music, and prayer. What did these traditions contain? Consider the Mayan traditions. They would gather in sacred spaces, chanting, dancing, and praying in unison to restore harmony to their communities and the environment. The Egyptians used music and sound during ceremonies dedicated to Isis Hathor, deities associated with love, compassion, and healing. These practices weren't just cultural traditions, they were powerful technologies for shaping reality. What if we could adapt these ancient techniques for modern group practice, creating gatherings for collective healing during Venus Peak? Start by organizing a small group of like-minded individuals who are committed to personal and collective transformation. Choose a time and location that feels sacred and conducive to deep connection. Then, incorporate elements of ritual, music, and shared intention into your gatherings. Light candles, burn incense, and create a sacred space that feels safe and welcoming. Play music that evokes feelings of love, compassion, and healing. Lead guided meditations, visualizations, or chanting exercises that focus on harmonizing relationships, fostering creativity, and manifesting positive outcomes. And most importantly, set a clear intention for your gathering, focusing on what you want to create, heal, or transform. During Venus Peak, these gatherings can serve as powerful catalysts for change, amplifying your individual efforts and creating a ripple effect of healing and transformation throughout your community and the world. By building a community, you will create lasting bonds. Are you ready to build a world where healing is always available? What if your dreams held the key to unlocking your relationship patterns, revealing hidden desires, unresolved conflicts, and potential futures? Ancient civilizations believed that dreams were a portal to the subconscious mind, a realm where the veil between worlds is thin and where the secrets of the universe are revealed. But what if we could tap into this wisdom, using dreamwork as a tool for self-discovery and relationship transformation during Venus Peak? What lessons can we learn from the past? The Egyptians consulted dream oracles to gain insights into the future and make important decisions. The Greeks built temples dedicated to Asclepius, the god of healing, where people would sleep and receive guidance through their dreams. These practices weren't just superstitious beliefs, they were sophisticated methods for accessing the wisdom of the subconscious mind and shaping reality. Dreams reflect the relationships in the dreamer's lives. So how can you harness the power of dreamwork to improve your relationships during Venus peak? Start by keeping a dream journal, recording your dreams as soon as you wake up. Pay attention to the symbols, characters, and narratives that appear in your dreams, as they often hold hidden meanings and messages. Consult ancient dream dictionaries and symbolic associations to gain a deeper understanding of your dreams. Look for recurring patterns and themes, as they may reveal underlying issues or unresolved conflicts in your relationships. And most importantly, use your dreams as a guide for self-reflection and personal growth, identifying areas where you can improve your communication, set healthier boundaries, and cultivate greater self-love. For example, if you dream about water, that may be related to the emotional state you are in. If you dream about a family member, that may indicate that they are in need of help from you. By analyzing your dreams and looking for patterns, you will improve your overall relationship insight. The time has come to embrace the full power of Venus, to integrate ancient wisdom into modern life, and to shape a future aligned with your highest values. Venus peak isn't just a celestial event, it's a catalyst for profound personal and collective transformation. What will your legacy be? Consider the key themes and practices we've discussed throughout this video. Take inspired action to shape a future aligned with love, beauty, creativity, and connection. Now, what legacy will you create during this Venus peak? What actions will you take to embody these values in your relationships, communities, and the world at large? Remember, you have the power to create a more harmonious and fulfilling world, guided by the wisdom of the ancients and the energy of Venus. Embrace your authentic power, trust your intuition, and commit to your personal transformation journey. This is your moment to shine, to create, to love, and to transform. And now, as we stand on the threshold of this Venus peak, I challenge you to answer this call to action. Commit to creating a more harmonious and fulfilling world, guided by the wisdom of the ancients. Your actions will inspire others to do the same. Is there a part of you that is still hesitant? Are you ready to commit? What if the true test lies not in embracing the light, but in confronting the darkness that still lingers within? This isn't just about crisis management. It's about seizing an extraordinary chance for growth. The Mayans' meticulous Venus tracking, the Egyptian association with rebirth, the Sumerian understanding of love and power, these aren't isolated beliefs. Synthesized, they reveal an essential truth. Venus peak is a convergence, a potent opportunity that demands your focused intention. Are you ready to align yourself with this cosmic crescendo? Consider Venus peak not just as an event, but as a fleeting window, a brief alignment offering amplified energetic influence. Much like a narrow passage between two realms, this period presents a limited time frame to harness Venus's power. As of today, you have mere days before this window begins to close, making immediate action paramount. It's not just Venus alone. Other celestial bodies are converging, amplifying the Venusian energies to an acute degree. Mars' alignment is intensifying passion, while Jupiter's proximity is expanding opportunities for love and abundance. If you understand how these placements relate to you, you will be able to find the relationships that will serve you best in the times to come. However, proceed with informed caution. The ancients understood that such heightened intensity necessitates protective measures. Certain civilizations, particularly the Egyptians, excelled at planning for these energetic surges. Without similar care, this convergence could manifest as relationship difficulties, creative blocks, and emotional turbulence. But by understanding the risks, you can proactively safeguard your well-being. Are you going to approach this moment informed, or will you risk the consequences of ignorance? Let's delve into the Mayan civilization, masters of celestial observation. Their intricate Venus calendar wasn't merely a timekeeping device. It was a sophisticated tool for predicting periods of relationship upheaval, social unrest, and even environmental change. The precision they achieved is astounding, a testament to their deep connection with the cosmos. Within the Dresden Codex lies the Venus Table, a meticulously crafted record of Venus's synodic cycle. It's more than just data, it's a roadmap, forecasting specific events with uncanny accuracy. Take a moment to visualize this calendar, a complex web of glyphs and numbers, each representing a point in Venus's journey and its impact on human affairs. If you were able to read it, it would tell you the future. These ancient predictions correlate directly with key points in Venus's cycle, particularly its inferior conjunction, a time when Venus appears to die and be reborn. For the Mayans, this symbolized a period of intense emotional turmoil, communication breakdowns, and power struggles within relationships. It wasn't just theory. Their society experienced tangible consequences during these times, from increased conflict to shifts in leadership. Imagine the intensity, the fear, and the uncertainty they must have felt. We can learn to anticipate just as they did. Now, you can leverage this knowledge to navigate potential relationship storms during Venus peak. Track the key dates, the days leading up to and following the inferior conjunction, and be mindful of potential triggers. Approach these periods with heightened awareness, employing mindfulness techniques to observe your emotions without judgment. Like a doctor treating symptoms, address conflict with open communication, setting clear boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. Understand that challenges are inevitable, but with foresight and proactive measures, you can weather any storm. Consider Inanna, also known as Ishtar, the Sumerian goddess whose story encapsulates the complex nature of love and power. More than just a deity of beauty and fertility, she was also a warrior, a force of both creation and destruction. Her journey to the underworld and subsequent resurrection speaks to themes of death, rebirth, and profound transformation. Imagine the challenges she faced, the betrayals she endured, and the strength she summoned to reclaim her power. That power is also within you. Venus peak acts as an amplifier, intensifying both the positive and negative aspects of relationships. It can ignite feelings of intense love, passion, and profound connection. But it can also unleash the shadow side, jealousy, possessiveness, and even destructive rage. Perhaps you've witnessed this firsthand, seeing relationships blossom only to be consumed by conflict. The range of emotions is vast, a spectrum that demands careful navigation. To harness Inanna's power and navigate these intense emotions, you can draw upon ancient Sumerian practices. More than just rituals, these were tools for self-empowerment, emotional regulation, and conflict resolution. Imagine a Sumerian priestess, chanting, visualizing, and wielding sacred objects to connect with Inanna's energy. One such ritual involved rhythmic chanting, coupled with visualizations of Inanna's symbols: the eight-pointed star, the lion, the flowing water. This wasn't just symbolic, it was believed to invoke Inanna's protection and guidance, fostering inner strength and emotional balance. If left unchecked, these intense feelings can lead to destructive behaviors, broken trust, and irreparable damage to relationships. But with conscious effort, you can channel these energies for growth and transformation. Aligning your personal energy with specific frequencies associated with Venus during its peak is paramount. Ancient Egyptians and Sumerians understood the power of sound, visualization, and sacred geometry to influence emotions and connect with higher realms. These sites, explored in previous videos, weren't just architectural marvels, they were energetic resonators designed to amplify specific frequencies. Imagine standing within the Great Pyramid, feeling the vibrations resonate through your being, connecting you to something larger than yourself. That same principle applies to you right now, but you have to act to benefit. Harness these Venusian frequencies through specific techniques. Try chanting the mantra Om Shri Shukraya Namaha, a sound vibration believed to align with Venusian energy. Visualize the sacred symbol of Venus, the pentagram, radiating with golden light, filling your heart with love and compassion. Incorporate sound healing instruments, such as tuning forks or singing bowls, to create harmonious vibrations that dissolve emotional blockages. These aren't just practices, they're tools for accessing a deeper state of resonance. Actively listening to these vibrations will amplify positive emotions. When you resonate with love, you bring light into your life and the lives of those around you. What if Venus Peak is a gateway, a cosmic key unlocking access to the Akashic Records? This vast storehouse of knowledge holds information about past lives, relationship patterns, and future possibilities. By consciously aligning with the unfolding energies of this celestial event, you can tap into this hidden realm. Think of the Akashic Records as the very destiny of humanity. Each individual action shapes what is to come. Accessing the Akashic Records during Venus Peak requires intention and focus. Begin with a guided meditation, visualizing yourself walking through a luminous library filled with countless scrolls containing the stories of every soul that has ever existed. The more you give yourself to the meditation, the more intense and useful it will be. Use intention-setting techniques, clearly stating your desire to gain insight into your relationships, your past, and your future. Remember, the goal is to recognize the potential, to open yourself to the possibility of accessing this vast source of knowledge. This will give you new insights into old traumas and clarity as you build a vision for the future. By consciously choosing to align with the positive aspects of Venusian energy, love, beauty, compassion, you can help shape a more harmonious and fulfilling future for yourself and for all of humanity. This isn't just about personal gain, it's about creating a ripple effect of positive change. Use the powerful affirmation, "I embrace the transformative power of Venus Peak to create a life aligned with my highest potential and contribute to a more loving and compassionate world." Repeat this affirmation with conviction, feeling the energy of Venus flowing through you, empowering you to create a better future. What's coming is a more stable world if you choose to connect. But are you ready to create it? What if everything you've been told about Venus Peak is only scratching the surface? What if the ancients held a key, a profound understanding of this celestial event that we've overlooked? They knew that Venus Peak wasn't just a spectacle, it was a periodic reset, an opportunity to rewrite your personal narrative, to consciously dismantle old patterns and unlock latent potential. It's time to stop seeing it as a passive event and start using it as a powerful tool for transformation. Think of it as clearing a field, removing the weeds, and preparing the soil for new, vibrant growth. The ancients understood the critical importance of eliminating what was harmful to make space for the beneficial to flourish. The relationship challenges, the creative blocks, the societal shifts, they're not random occurrences. They are directly influenced by how we, as individuals and as a collective, interact with the amplified energies during Venus Peak. The recurring patterns we've explored throughout this journey aren't just coincidences, they're echoes of ancient wisdom resonating in our modern world. Remember the Mayan prophecies of relationship upheaval during specific Venus cycles? Look around. Do you see those patterns playing out in modern relationship statistics during similar periods? The key is recognizing these cycles, understanding their influence, and consciously choosing a different path. How will you choose to make different decisions? But here's the most empowering truth of all. While Venus Peak presents amplified energies and potential challenges, you are not a puppet. You have the agency to choose how you respond, to shape your experience with intention and direct that powerful Venusian energy. By consciously aligning with the principles of love, beauty, and harmony, you can navigate those challenges, manifest your desires, and create positive change in your life and the lives of others. Your power to create is truly unlimited. But what does this transformation truly look like? It's not about overnight miracles or escaping your problems. It's about shifting your perspective, recognizing your patterns, and making conscious choices that align with your highest potential. It's about embracing self-love, practicing compassion, and cultivating creativity. It's about becoming the architect of your own destiny. Venus Peak isn't an isolated event. It's part of a grander cosmic tapestry, interconnected with other celestial events like solar eclipses and planetary alignments. These events are all threads in the same intricate design, constantly influencing human history and shaping our collective destiny. It is a mysterious web of energies, and each individual action creates reverberations that extend far beyond what you can see. Are you ready to see further than you've seen before? The themes and patterns associated with Venus Peak represent recurring challenges and opportunities in the ongoing story of human evolution. The Sumerian emphasis on emotional regulation during times of heightened intensity is mirrored in our modern need for mindfulness and self-compassion in navigating stress and uncertainty. We must learn from the past, not to be bound by it, but to create a better future. The choice is always in our hands. The choices you make during Venus Peak have long-term implications, not only for your own life, but also for future generations. By cultivating self-love, compassion, and creativity, you contribute to a more positive and fulfilling future for those who come after you. This isn't just about personal gain. It's about creating a snowball effect of positive change, a legacy of love and harmony that will ripple through time. This harmony creates stability. The Mayans focused on cyclical time, the Egyptians emphasized rebirth and transformation, and the Sumerians understood the dualistic nature of Venus. These are not disparate ideas, they are interconnected facets of a larger truth. These ancient civilizations, though separated by time and geography, all recognized the profound influence of Venus and developed unique practices to harness its power. Their wisdom resonates with us today, offering guidance and inspiration as we navigate the complexities of modern life. Their collective impact is immense. Now, how can you apply these Venusian practices to your own life? Carve out time for daily meditation, even if it's just for a few minutes. Visualize the symbol of Venus, the pentagram, radiating with golden light, filling your heart with love and compassion. Chant ancient mantras like Om Shri Shakraya Namaha to align with Venusian energy. Keep a dream journal to explore your subconscious and gain insights into your relationships and creative potential. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are concrete tools you can use to create positive change. So, what did the ancients discover about Venus Peak that changes everything? They understood its power to amplify both positive and negative energies and developed specific practices to harness its potential for personal and collective transformation. They may not have had our scientific understanding of planetary physics, but they possessed a deep intuitive knowledge of the interconnectedness of all things and the power of human consciousness. Their wisdom is a timeless gift, a beacon of light guiding us towards a more harmonious and fulfilling future. The potential for growth is yours to embrace. But even with all that we've covered, the journey doesn't end here. What uncharted realms of Venusian influence remain to be explored? How might Venus Peak impact technological innovation, artistic expression, or social justice movements? What are the unexplored connections between Venus Peak and other major celestial events, such as eclipses, solstices, and equinoxes? The cosmos is vast and mysterious, and there is always more to learn. Now, I want to hear from you. Share your experiences, insights, and questions in the comments below. How have you experienced Venusian energy in your own life? What Venus-inspired rituals and practices have you found helpful? Let's create a community of shared exploration, supporting each other on this journey of self-discovery. And if you're eager to delve deeper into the mysteries of the cosmos, stay tuned for upcoming videos. We'll be exploring specific ancient civilizations in greater detail, uncovering advanced techniques for working with Venusian energy, and investigating the connections between astrology, mythology, and spirituality. There's always more to come, more to discover, and more to share. Thank you for joining me on this